Dante. Alan Cocker with ABC, hitting coordinator with the Arizona Diamondbacks. We're going to take a look at your video today. We're going to run it through just a few times. I'll talk about some of the things that I see, and then we'll slow it down, draw some lines. Really like your setup position. You look very balanced. You look very powerful in that position. We get into the load. Not a whole lot going back, which I kind of like. You load into your back leg very, very well. I think where I start to see some things that I think we could improve upon are when you start to stride. And I'll draw lines on all of this, but your stride, it looks like it goes a little bit towards the third baseman. Your stride looks like it maybe is about 3 inches too long. If we could shorten up that stride by maybe 3 inches, I think it would be able to help you maintain better balance throughout the swing, and then be able to hold your finish at the end of your swing under balance. And all of those things are going to help you control the barrel of the bat in the swing. So we'll just go back to the setup position. Again, like I said, very, very athletic, very balanced. We'll run forward into the load. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a little line right here. Okay, that's where we start with our stride. Okay, I'm also going to draw a line right here. That's the angle of our feet. Let me do that again. That's the angle of our feet in our setup position right there. That's where we are. Okay, now as we go forward and we load, you do a good job of loading into the back leg. Okay, by that I mean this knee isn't to wet back and get back this back foot. You keep this knee inside that back foot very well, so that the load is going into the back leg. That's where we want that load to be. Okay, so here we are. Here's where our foot starts. Here's the direction or line of our setup position. Now as we start to go forward and we get into the stride, okay, we get all the way out to here. We have stop line. We're going back or towards the third baseman, and then we have a stride all the way to here, which is probably about a foot. You know, we're striding probably about a foot. If we could cut that stride down and just in half, 6 inches, that's more in this area, and then again make that stride stay in line like it in your this be. We want to end up somewhere in this neighborhood right here. This causes some directional problems, meaning it's going to be difficult to handle the pitch on the outer half of the plate. I don't know if they're throwing breaking balls or change-ups yet in your league, but when they start to throw them, it will be difficult to handle those pitches. So we're going to cut that stride in half, and we're going to make sure that our line is staying, or our stride is staying in line with that back foot. We're not stepping out towards the third baseman. Okay. The other thing that I see that I'd like for you to work on is stride. When that stride sets down, we don't try to put any more open than 45 degrees, and I think we have it at 52 or 53 degrees. So what that does is that causes our front side to open up prematurely. We want to keep that stride in there at no more open than 45 degrees. When the stride is open more than 45 degrees of the stride foot, it causes front and we can go here toward the pull side of the field. Now, this is going to be the line, or this is going to be the path that our bat is going to follow. It's going to go where our front side takes us. So if my stride is open to the third baseman, my stride foot is open more than 45 degrees, and my front hip is opening up to the third baseman, that's basically going to be the pitch that I'm going to be able to hit the best. It's going to be this pitch that's in third, and I'm going to have a pretty good chance of hitting that ball. Anything that's out here, outer third plate, it's going to be very difficult for me to stay on that ball. So that will be one thing that I want you to work on, is continue to get yourself into a position where that stride doesn't open up. The stride foot doesn't open up more than 45 degrees, and we're cutting that stride in half to about 6-inch stride. Okay? Now we'll go forward into the actual swing itself. You get a good rotation. You get your hands involved. You know, your palm up, down right there. That's good. But now watch the direction that your hands, as I continue to run this forward, your hands are going to come across in this direction. Okay, see how we pull our hands across our body? And once we get to the point of contact, right? Once we get to the point of contact, as I mentioned, your palm up, your palm down, you're good. Now we just want to keep this top hand. We want to continue to keep it staying palm up. That bat will send in direction instead of pulling across your body. Okay, that in baseball terms we just call pulling off the ball just a little bit. So, you know, how do we work on something like this? The best hitters that in the game of baseball, whenever they go to the cage prior to batting practice, they do probably 90% of their work in the cage. They do it off a tee. And the reason they do it off a tee is because they can put the ball in the exact location that they need to work on the most. So in your case, we're going to set that tee out here on the outer half or outer third of this plate, and we're going to set it even with or just inside that stride foot. So we're going to cut our stride down 6 inches, so that ball and that tee is going to be placed right about here. Now what we do is we load up, we set our foot down, we make sure that our stride is staying in line with our back foot, we make sure that our stride is cut down by 6 inches, and we make sure that that stride foot does not open up any more than 45 degrees. That's going to allow you to come to this ball at contact and keep the barrel staying through this ball in extension. Okay, that for me really, Dante, is the best way to work on this to make you a better, more complete hitter, a hitter that can cover both sides of the plate, a hitter that has a chance to handle the off-speed pitches. It really needs to happen with just improving this lower half. It's going to improve your balance as well. So if that stride foot starts right here and it goes all the way out to here, we need to cut that in half. Okay? And if that stride foot starts right there, this is our line, and now when we stride, this is our line, then that just opened up our front side, and that's taking us off the ball away. So we need to work on those things and set that ball on the outer third of the plate and get you in a position to where you can handle the pitch out there. It's not going to hurt you on the pitch in any at all. It will allow you to hit both sides of the plate, and that's just going to make you a more complete hitter. Okay, bud? Give this drill a try, and a solid 2 to 3 weeks where you're banging 40 to 50 balls a day in a cage. And all of a sudden this muscle memory will kick in, and it'll just become second nature to you. Okay? Best